Okay, so this is where we at. I had a talk with Mother Shelley. A lot of things that we talked about. Yeah, it's that serious. Look, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all the real deal. Stock up on everything. Stock up on everything. Because how this gonna go down? From what our old mentor mentioned, shit about to be wow. So I'm gonna let y'all know off rip. I know this sound crazy, but they really are going to do some shit. Um, Eventually, a lot of these jobs are going to be AI ran, computer ran, pretty much. A lot of these jobs are going to be ran by computer. Y'all need to look at the movie I Robot again. All of these movies that had was going on with the robo scene, all of that. Even down to the movie RoboCop. You might want to look at all of that stuff because we are heading. This is not no New World stuff. This actually happened during Atlantis. I'm telling y'all, this stuff went on in Atlantis. It went on in Atlantis a long time ago. There's nothing new under the sun. I really want to tell people there's no such thing as a new world. Please stop thinking it is a new world. Listen, this is the old world. It's just that what happened, they put a veil over you so you wouldn't see what was been going on the whole time. Many of you are waking up and realizing the whole time you was living a fucking dream and you was not even living in the real reality of things. Because of the simple fact is the veil is gone, like I told y'all. Everything is gone. They don't want none of y'all to finally realize what the hell is. They don't want you to know. They don't need you to know because they wanted to keep everything secret. They don't want you to know what's been going on in the spirit realm. Let me tell y'all something. Those that constantly is talking about crazy, all this stuff, that has nothing to do with your spirit. I'm talking about the real ones that heard the call. That has nothing to do with your spirit, and I'm gonna tell you why. You got bigger things to worry about. You have bigger things to worry about. Many of you are going through stuff, caught up with a lot of BS that you don't need in your life. We are at the point right now that it's going to be a make or break you in this reality. It's all about raising vibrations, but also your thoughts. It is also dealing with the heart. And the first heart that they don't tell you is this, the mind. Listen, do not let nobody play tricks on you mentally. This is the battle of the mental. This is the battle of the souls. To see whose souls are going to go where. I'm telling y'all, this sounds crazy, but it's actually realistic. Let me tell you, people talk and they talk, but they don't walk what they talk, nor do they act or do the way that they say when they talk. So what they do, they mimic and copy what others say because that's how the way they are. They have the eyes of what they call a hawk. People need to understand that there's too many beings out here that's doing that in this reality. They are doing OT like I'm telling y'all. Say about consciousness, if they don't have too much to really touch on and they can't answer your questions without saying key words by repeating the same question 3 or 4 or 5 times, probably even more. that means that they probably don't know. And sometimes the ego get in the way, and they'll just try to give you the answers and not know the answers. We are all here not to say we know everything. We are here to make progress and move forward on our path, on our journey, in order to become better versions of ourselves, if that makes sense. Want you to know anything. They don't need you to know what you want to know, what you need to know, how to grow, how to move forward. Because when it comes down to it, a lot of these beings make it be about themselves, and it has nothing to do with them. It has to do with you, beloveds. You. That's what it has to do with. At the end of the day, it's not about them, it's about you. If you can do this on your own channel, talk about yourself, that's not consciousness. Nobody cares what you may think of self. You got people that need how to raise their vibrations, how to cope with the bullshit that's happening, because we can't keep on talking about the solutions. I mean, the problems, we got to talk about the solutions to the problems. That's one of the main components that we need to know here. Not having a theme and all of that. You know, I'm not the type of person that like to talk really all the time. But when I start seeing how people move and how methodical they are, and how the wordplay can be so extravagant, but it's a nothing burger in the middle of it. Let me tell you, if it was not for the subscribers, we would not be where we are today. Because like I said, it's all about you all. Because you take time to look at us. Shout out to Macalessi. I watched Macalessi and her husband Cyrus King. Shout out to y'all. Y'all helped me on this conscious journey too. I meant to mention y'all in the other stream. You and your husband, top notch. Love y'all. Keep it up. I love it. I've been watching y'all for years, ever since I was in my 20s. You know what I mean? Yeah, like late 20s. Shout out to Macalessi and her husband Cyrus King. But yeah. We gotta really dig deeper. Because where we are right now, we are at, know it or not, y'all, we at a crossroads for real on this is gonna make and break you spiritually. I'm being real. This is something they don't want to tell you. And what I mean by that, you gotta, people say use discernment, you gotta use more than that discernment. You're gonna have to use that intuition along with that discernment, man. Because a lot of these people, listen, it's open season on the souls. Ever since I told y'all the veil is gone, I'm telling you, it's about the battle of human souls, y'all. Either you're going to soul out or sell out, however you want to call it. Some people say sold out, meaning that you sold your soul out. For what? For fame. To have a name. To state your claim. Just to have stardom and fame. This is the true that's happening in this game of chess, not checkers. Because what they not telling you, they're playing chess, but they don't know how to play the game like chess. So they're trying to look at it as checkers, and they're trying to see if you know the difference. We are at a point where people don't see through the illusions just yet, with a lot of people that's talking crazy shit. It is not all about you. It's about the people. Sometimes the people need a voice of them, of the so-called voiceless. And I asked many, not the ones that's doing the work, but I asked many that claim to do it. Are you for the people, or for your own? Are you for your own self bidding and raising yourself up and leaving everybody down like this, so you can look down on them? Because I can tell you, if you're doing that, you're no better than the mofos that are agents and are taking the money from the people, because this time you're taking their souls away and you're bringing them with nothing but confusion. And then you're setting them aside and cast them away because of you wanting to be here, and that's all you think of. You got to remember, a lot of these beings are here and a lot of them are on YouTube. You got to know how to tell the difference. If a person can't look at you eye to eye, like this brother doing right now, looking at you all, without doing like this, I can see if you're thinking. But if you're constantly doing like this and your eyes not looking at the camera, you got to start asking yourself a question. Are they really talking to you? Or are they thinking what to say to you that makes sense? Be careful of these beings out here. I'm trying to tell y'all. They are here. They are in YouTube. They are talking and talking. And many people get confused and thinking that these beings are leaders, when all they're trying to lead you to is to lead your spirit away from knowing the truth about your potential. Your potential is very important, so you can know what lane or path to take in your life. I'm telling you, some people don't know. Some people claim to know but don't know. Some people think they are meant to lead, but they're not meant to lead. They're meant to go ahead and destroy other people and destroy their souls because they don't know any better. Because also that is the path that they chose. Because in their mind they think they are better than who? You. That's why I said it's important about the heart chakra. I've been saying it. This is being judged. It is also connected to this. It is also connected to the 33 vertebrae. It is also connected to this. The real you is this, the brain, the cerebral cortex, all the way down to your spinal cord and the nervous system. The signal from what? The brain to do this. This, the flesh, is that matter. It's the vehicle to have that part of you that help you move around and about. I'm telling y'all, everything I try to tell you, please. I just got finished talking to my therapist about bloodlines and everything. She's Scottish and Irish and something else. And I gave her the genealogy of the Irish, the Scottish, and so on. But I told her it's in the DNA. Brothers and sisters, it's in the DNA. It's all, everything that you got to do research on. Knowledge of self is very key and important. It's one of the key components. Because now you got to start looking into your family tree, all that. Then also you got to find out about if you were born into a family that came from a lot of priestesses, priests, or so on. And I'm not talking about, the Catholic priest. I'm talking about the priest that was doing what they call spiritual teachings, healing, and all of that were also considered medicine men and medicine women. That's what I'm talking about. If you had ancestors that were doing that, then more likely that's your calling. Many of us come from family members that were that had connections to shamans or shamans. That's what they say sometimes, shamans or shamans. Medicine men, medicine women. They call them witch doctors. But it's the word witch is real scary to people. But the word witch got the word wit, which is dealing with the mind. It's also being a doctor, which is mastering the craft of healing. using herbs, using ancestral spirits to guide them to create and give you elixirs to heal your body. But also they might be an incarnation of a particular ancestral spirit. You just don't know it. I'm not see things I say. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not making it up. It just gets me when I hear people. I don't like when people get misled. If certain people are not sure, they're not sure. Just say, hey, I'm not sure. People and try to push them down down the road of a point where they might not be able to return to find themselves. We have too many people that want to lead, but they're leading blindly. And I don't understand it. I don't understand a path where they don't know where they're going, because you don't know where you're going yourself. But I digress, because this is not to talk about anybody, but I just care about people so much, because it's like, yo, nobody don't see what's happening. It's too many people that's misleading others down this path instead of going straight down the straight and narrow. And a lot of them doing it purposely. Some of them doing it because they don't know. Some of them are doing it because that's what they were assigned to do. See, people don't know they got beings that have been assigned to do things like that. That's why every day in life is a test. Everything in life is a test. No, it or not. It's to test your heart, your mind. That's why I keep on letting everybody know that heart chakra is very important and is very serious. If your heart is not the purest of hearts and you don't care about nobody but yourself, Houston, we have a problem. This is why I come on here to tell y'all to keep your eyes and ears open on these beings. And I told y'all that they're doing overtime. That's why I come on here for a reason, because these last lives that I've been doing on this channel of ours, honestly, I really care about people so much. And I witnessed and know family members that took that. I know family members that took that job. I know a lot. It's a lot of stuff. And I be in the home thinking about, yo, like, what the Sam Blazes is going on. And you got too many people that will tell you something that you think is truthful and it's not. That's why I always tell you, because what I learned from Dr. York, he always say, if you don't believe me, check it out. If you don't believe me, check it out. Look it up. Look it up. I take time to come on here, and whatever download I get, I share with y'all. Whatever thought comes to mind, and putting things together like, yo, this don't sound right. What about this and this? Look, Mother Shelley and I talked, and I expressed to her the stuff that y'all little big brother went through. Spiritually, I don't make none of the stuff. You crazy? No, listen. The person that taught me Reiki, my Reiki instructor, she also taught me how to do certain divinations. I'll get into that another time. When I told her years ago about the guy, she did a reading on that, and she's like, yo, dude was really the real thing. And I told her, I said, he told me this, this, and this. She did that, and she said, bro, he's telling the truth. And she was like, I'm going to see which side is he on, and to stay. She did the divination. You know what happened? It said stay away from him, keep yourself distant, and don't know what side he on. Because I asked him that. What side are you on? He said he don't know. Right? So me to just tell y'all what I was told. And I'm seeing that shit happen because now I told y'all Tiamat is acting. She's wilding. Not in a bad way. She's pissed. And I'm going to tell y'all some real shit. Everybody listen. Shout out to Mama T and Brother Pisces the King. Shout out to you for putting me on with Mama T, okay? Shout out to you. She said something that was profound. She said that the whole revelation's already happened. I'm like, Then she went in details and started breaking down Tiamat being the dragon and you know how you know what the dragon thing is, and then she was breaking down that. Then she started talking about the daughters of Tiamat. She didn't mention the sons, but that's where your little big brother come in and say, yo, it wasn't just daughters, it was sons of Tiamat too that was defending their mother. Some of the daughters wasn't, listen, a lot of her daughters wasn't defending the mother. Some of the daughters was doing that, and some of the sons was doing it. And it was like a collective of them. A collective. Because Tiamat herself created a lot of these deities. A lot of these angelic hosts. Because in the beginning, she was the primordial darkness that created the light. I told y'all to get the Kabbalistic Encyclopedia, right? Get the Kabbalistic Encyclopedia. Look up Seraphim. SERAPHIM. When you get that book, that encyclopedia, it says winged flaming serpents. The holy angelic hosts. So you ask yourself a question. Well, why are they winged flaming serpents? A dragon is a reptile. A serpent is what? A reptile. Right? It goes back to your daggone spinal cord. I keep on trying to tell you, listen. That Jacob's ladder, those 33 vertebrae leading to Jacob's ladder, my right ear is ringing. My right ear is ringing right now. It was ringing right now. See, I don't listen. When that happens, your little big brother not going to be, oh wow, snap. I'm not going to do that. You see how I'm calm and I'm letting it flow. This is not an act. This is not what we do. Let me tell you something. The 33 vertebrae of the spinal cord leading to your cerebral cortex. This is where you meet the Most High. The Most High is here. You have a direct link to the Most High here. Where you get your downloads, where the Most High speaks to you. The Most High is connected to the cosmos. She created the cosmos, and she's also the planet. Yeah, it is. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send it to you, beloved sister. I'm gonna send it to you. But both of them can be, both the left ear, it can be both good and bad. Okay, I'll tell you that. But it's also tuning you in for messages. The right ear is also letting you know that they're protecting, that they're around too. I'll go over that with you soon. I'll send you some information about that. Okay, beloved. So, but it's the frequency that's getting you in tune. Sometimes the left ear telling you might need to get back in tune. The right ear letting you know, like, yo, you in tune. Bop, 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 bop. I'm just giving you a fast forward version of it. But just know that when they're ringing, that is the ancestors checking in on you too. Sometimes people have both ears be ringing for people, and they be like, whoa, what the heck is going on? Okay. Where we're heading at down this line, we got to understand what this whole reset is not just spiritual, like I told y'all, it's physical. What's going on in the spirit realm is also going on here. What they're not telling you, like I keep telling y'all, that is coming to a final showdown. A lot of people know this. Now, what's going to happen? Those that are one with nature and those that's trying to destroy nature. Those that want the planet for themselves to get rid of the people on it. And those that say, hell no, we not going anywhere because you are destroying this planet and we were sent by the divine mother herself. See, nobody don't want to talk about she. They keep on talking about he. He needs she to create, to bring forth the children. My godmother or spiritual mother in the practice that I'm getting initiated in, spoke to her yesterday, and we talked about the yin and yang. Damballa is what she spoke. I said, oh yeah, Damballa, the serpent. She said that Damballa has a wife, which them two correlate. In the caduceus in the health or medical field. That is your culture, brothers and sisters, that they're using. Remember I told you they're using our stuff on us? Bingo. She confirmed it. Then I talked to her about the mitochondrial DNA. My godmother she knows. She like, yeah. She said they don't want to tell nobody, and I mean what I say. They don't want nobody to know that the black woman is connected to that mitochondrial DNA, the X chromosome. Earlier, I played the video showing, it was a short video of a brother talking about the chaos dealing with the X chromosome. And they don't want us to wake up. That is the 3 sixes that Bobby Hemmett was talking about. 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, and 6 protons. The 3 sixes. Add that together, you have the number 18, which is the number 9. If you really want to know, 1 deals with what? New beginnings. The number 8. It is 2 ciphers put together. 2 circles, 360 and 360. 720 degrees, which goes back to the number 9. But if you add 1 and 8, that's going back to the number 9. So we're going dealing with the number 9 yet again, but that number 1 makes that 8 9. But guess what? The number 8 already equals 9 because of 720 and 720. 2 circles. The number 8 also deal with that balance because if you turn it like, what is it, right side up, and it deal with the infinity symbol. Don't believe me? Look at this stuff up. To know anything that's dealing with the Vistica Pisces or the great, what is it called? The Vistica Pisces, which is the womb of the great primordial mother. Look up Sophia. Look up Sophia, Sophia, and see who she's the wife of. Then we're going to go into that demiurge. What is the demiurge? That's what's dealing with the matrix. That's dealing with the matrix. That's also bringing forth these archons. ARCHONS. Who are these archons? In Judeo Christianity, Islam, Judeo Christianity and Islam, you call them the jinn. Thank you, my beloved brother. I appreciate you, my man. You always come through. Thank you for helping me because I said I was going to send a. But my right ear was ringing earlier. I think my left ear was ringing, but now my right ear was ringing. I'm like, ooh, You know what I'm saying? It caught me. And you're right about that. Thank you. Opening up the spirit. Exactly, my man. See, I was kind of sort of right. Can I get credit for that, bro? Can I get credit for that? Oh, because I was freestyling because I was like trying to remember what I'm being told at the same time. You gonna give me credit for that? You probably laughing like, yeah, I got you, bro. I got you. Oh man, but yeah. Like they really like they trying to play these mind games, man. We got to go back to the great mother. All jokes aside, like listen, man, brother Pisces the King taught me and Mother Shelley taught me. I'm telling y'all, listen. There was a balance between the daughters of Tiamat and the sons of Tiamat. But what my godmother was saying that Dembala had a wife and they were both serpents and they intertwined like on a caduceus, which made the yin and yang. Remember, every time we get off of here, always say peace, love, light, darkness, right? And that catches a lot of people that's all about the light. Like, what the hell he mean by darkness? Because the darkness created the light. And when she created the light, that's when the balance came. Because they need each other to bring supreme balance, which is the yin and yang, which is the scales that deal with Libra, which is what? Ruled by Venus. Now, there was another stream that I think that was on our channel that I was saying that how Venus was like Venus and the other planets were celestial bodies, meaning that they were looked upon or even walked the earth as in through so-called mythology and so on. A lot of our ancestral spirits are connected to these spheres. A lot of them are. Just saying, you got to remember, you're a star child, a star seed. You're made out of stardust, dealing with the alignment of the planets and also the star systems or the star constellations that open up the portal, which is the Stargate, which is the womb, to bring you through the womb, which is also connected to the water. Because your mother waters break. Her water broke. I couldn't get the words out. Okay? So bear with me on this because I'm like really like trying to like remember everything that I'm hearing. So when the water breaks, you incarnate here. But that belly button, the spirit goes through that hole, that particular portal to enter the crown. Now, that's why in ancient times, our ancestors would go to a priest for divination or the priest will come to them when they get a sign from the ancestral realm to go to that mother or father and tell them about that child. And that's a prophecy or something they had to fulfill, or what they call a life path, whatever the case may be. And that's why I was saying it's very important too, and one of the old streams that we did, is very important to be careful who you lie down with. Because energies are exchanging. And the tones of the procreation process means a lot to that child when they get here. Because those are tones and vibrations, know it or not. That is also dealing with what they call, because intercourse is literally called, it was actually a right, not just reproducing, but also not just reproducing, but it was bringing different special children here. Thanks for put up the 100 emoji, but that's what it was for. That's why you got to be careful who you lie down with, because you got to remember the marriages that they have today. They didn't have marriages like that back then. If a man and a woman lied down together, that was her husband, that was his wife. But also the priest of the people would also, who they went to go see, the witch doctor, they would always get told by the ancestral spirits about a couple or two people. And when they see them, they'll be like, oh, and they'll tell the parents, like, they supposed to be married because this is what the ancestral spirit said, or the creator came and told us and showed us, and now we got to make this be done. That's how it also was done too. But what they also don't tell you, that it was mystery schools as well, ancient mystery schools, like during Greece and all of that. They had something called the mystery school of Poseidon. You can look that up in this book called the Legacy of the Black Gods by Paul Simon. You can get that off of Amazon. Read that, because right now we in the information really going into real stuff, because what they're not telling you is that a lot of these religions come from another tradition that's older than all of them. But I'm gonna tell you a little thing that Bobby Hemmett said, and I remember it like this, like that, but it's in here. When you are studying Christianity, the mysticism of Christianity, shout out to Bobby Hemmett, the mysticism of Christianity deals with the Gnostics. Okay? Islam is the Sufi, the ways of the Sufi, S-U-F-I. S-U-F-I. Sufi. Go back to the Christian part, Gnostic. Ready? G-N-O-S-T-I-C. I had to remember that. It's long time ago. I've been okay. When it come down to Judaic or Judaism, you have the Kabbalah. Know it or not, all of them correlate together. Quiet as it's kept. These are mystical schools and mystical teachings that are hidden messages in these religions. And I remember being in a Hebrew Israelite school, and they told us that the word religion means, the word is connected to the word religio, which means to hold back. And notice I said the Hebrew Israelite school, because it's a school of thought, because it's too many of y'all. It's like too many different sets of y'all. Like too many. Like I'll be wanting to know, damn, if y'all gangbanging or not, because y'all be like, we over here, UPK, whatever, and then we over here with the Israelites of da-da-da-da-da, and then there's too many of y'all. It should just be one group. But anyway, I digress on that. Now, but each one I'm saying, well, we got the truth over here, we got the truth over there, but each one of them have the different sets have different ways of teaching, but it's up to you to use discernment and get that information out of those schools. Just letting you know. But anyway, I digress on that. But yeah, you need to really understand that these schools always miss something. The mother. They suppress the feminine energy. You know why? They don't want the melanated woman to wake up and realize that every nationality came from out the womb of her and her mate. And they don't want the sisters to know that she is connected to the primordial great mother herself, and that she is pretty much a conduit or an avatar or a aspect of her walking in this realm. With her, she cannot be tamed, but she can be balanced with her husband. The husband is also supposed to be the protector of her stargate. What do you mean by that? Her heavenly gate. And you say, what the hell are you talking about? Her womb. Because by them both being one, she has to realize that yes, she is powerful, but he's powerful as well. But even though she holds the genetic coding, she and him are the same. It's just that the genders are not the same in this realm. They are pretty much balanced each other. They're supposed to balance each other out. But she realized that, damn, I created him, what? To be alongside me. And I manifested him, if that make any sense. Because she created all. She is the all. Notice that goes to what I kept on saying. Shout out to the brother Fire Angels that's no longer here. That goes back to the Vistica Pisces. I learned that during my time in the Masonic Order. That's one of the hidden secrets. That you, Nubian woman, you Asiatic, so-called Israelite woman, Moabitess woman, whatever you want to call yourself, you have always been the sacred geometry because you are in tune with the planet. And your sons have the X and the Y. And you gave birth to your sons, which later is also connected to that divine feminine that turned into the divine masculine, which makes y'all equal now when it comes down to procreation and so on. And what they don't tell you about intercourse, they also used it for manifestation, which they call sex magic, which was also connected to a ritual, or may we say rite. That's the real pronunciation of it, rite, not ritual. They done did so many different things with these words. You gotta keep in mind, like for real, like how they play these goddamn etymologies and shit. Okay, they don't want you to know this. In order for any being to get through here, damn near, they gotta come through the womb. Point blank, period. Even down to animals, y'all. Even down to animals. The daggone animal got to come through the womb of that particular animal. The mother is very significant, but the father plays the role as the protector. And also he can be the teacher as well, because he can teach his wife, not that she can just teach him, but he can teach his wife some things too. Because you have some men that are good husbands that's teaching their woman who come from probably a broken home how to conduct herself and vice versa. Because in the process, he is also learning about himself. That's how it always supposed to have been. But we got to remember, we're in a Western society. So everything's ass backwards. It's not matriarch in Western society. It's patriarch. And the reason to it, shout out to William Jolly Bay and all the other Nubians and so on. The reason why it's like that, he wanted to be like her. The ways of the West. I'm going to be real with you. Look at the whole culture. That's how you know I'm telling the truth on this shit. They cut me off every time I say. That's how you know I'm telling the truth on this shit. They cut me off every time I say what I say. They do this all the time. Pisces the King, you see that? Y'all all see that. Life had no lich. Everybody see that. Every time I go into full details about stuff like this, we're going to cut them off. We're going to cut them off. Or they start buffering me. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. That's why I be saying what I say. Whenever I'm told, I go ahead and tell. I don't listen. A lot of stuff that comes to a brother, I don't make this stuff up. I go by what I'm being told, stuff that I've learned on this path. You know what I'm saying? On this path, all this stuff that I've been walking. Listen, I've been going through this stuff, been knowing a lot of things since I was a child, y'all. I told the story about that in the last live. Hopefully they'll clear that so y'all can see it. Like literally, like I told y'all in the other live that when I was I would go to school and say, I told my family, I'm here to kill the monsters or unalive the monsters. I told them that. And looked at me like, the hell he talking about? My grandmothers laughed at me and stuff like, oh, he just using his imagination. I'm like, I gotta go ahead and take care of the vampires, take the vampires out. I'm like, and I'm walking around. I had a bag full of goddamn steaks, ready to steak monsters in the heart and everything. I was doing all that stuff when I was a child. And I told my grandmother, who's my last living grandmother now, I need crosses. And I'm like a little boy saying this stuff. She's like, I'm gonna give you all the crosses in the world, baby. And she sure did. A whole bag, a whole grocery bag of them. What I did with them, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I was a child. And I don't know. I don't think that was imagination. I don't think that was my imagination. I think that that spirit in me during that time was like, it was unexplaining why I was thinking like that. Right? Now here we are. I'm adult now. I'm 44, right? So I'm looking at it like, yo, I look back at that. I'm like, damn. And here we are. We on this YouTube channel. And I keep telling you, this is not mine. This is ours. Here we are talking about stuff dealing with spirituality, all of this. Right? Then when we start talking about, we keep on talking about he, but why we don't talk about she? That's why I said, look up Sophia. Look up the name Sophia. Then at the same time, look up the name Nyx. Nyx. Look up the name Nyx. She was here before he. That's in Greece. That's dealing with the Greek mythology. Then, whenever y'all get a chance to, get The Great Black Mama of Creation by Dr. Suzar. Suzar. Get that. Purchase that book. It's very educational. The next thing you want to also look into, look up Hathor, or Hathor, Hathor. Okay, look her up. I already told you, look up Setmek. Then you want to look up Aset or Isis. Okay. Now I give Rod Hayes a shout out on this. Now I want y'all to check this out. I think it's spelled I-E. I got my eyes closed. I-E-S-O-U-S. Mother Shelley, how you doing? I was going to call you, but I know you said you was going to be busy today. Look up that name. I-E-S-O-U-S. I think I said it right. I-E-S-O-U-S. Look up that name. I'm glad to hear that. I was telling everybody, about a little bit of the talk, but then I started talking about the same, similar things, right? But yeah, they did a live stream. Keep that in mind. They did a live stream. We were right about that. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing about it, we're here to talk about why they keep on taking her out of the picture or the equation. She is the Holy Spirit that they talk about, though. There's a group of Israelites that call the Holy Spirit the Holy Spirit the Comforter. Who is the Comforter? Wouldn't you consider the woman the Comforter? Keep in mind, the Catholics worship her too. They know the secret of Sophia. They know the secret of all this information. That's why they take it from you. They don't want you to claim back what's rightfully yours. They don't want you to know about the sacred woman, why your husband is there, why your real husband is supposed to be there, the one that the creator or the divine brought to you. That's why I was saying that ancient priesthoods, they knew all this stuff. And these priesthoods, you had to do a rites of passage. You had to get that call. And at the same time, if you're able to see these ancestral spirits, the priest or priestesses would know, because they would either talk to you or that child, or they would tell the person that gave birth to that child too. I'm gonna have to go back to that. I'm sorry if I skipped anything. I'm just trying to make sure I remember all this stuff, because I get so many downloads in my head that I try to catch up with everything, because there's so many things that go on my head that's telling me to tell a lot of information. When I say it's a lot of information that's being told, I gotta keep it going. And when I pause, I gotta remember and go back. Okay, just bear with me, so I don't want y'all to be confused. Okay, but they don't want y'all to notice that the man was the protector, and also to help balance her. But now this is where they got us at, though. Back to that part. This is where they got us at during the 1960s. The feminist movement that was orchestrated to destroy the so-called black family. Do you know why they did that? Go back to the Black Panther Party, J. Edgar Hoover. To stop the coming of a black messiah, which is dealing with COINTELPRO. Because that so-called black messiah will not just wake up so-called black people, they'll wake up. Yeah. Remember I told y'all in the other lives I told you how important the DNA is? The DNA, the bloodline is. You gotta start looking into that. I talked to my therapist today, who I said earlier, she's Scottish, Irish, Mexican. But guess what? She looks like this. Talk to her about the bloodline. I said, you know that the original Irish were, they look like this. And a lot of them know that, but they keep that hush. Then I told her about the original Mexicans, about the Arawak, how they went through what they went through down in Mexico. And also I talked to her about the Mayans, the Aztecs, and the Olmecs. How they looked at, how they found those big old heads. They got the big old broad noses and stuff in the lips. Told her about that. That's the bloodline. How the Scottish, how they came about. How Scotland, Ireland are right there in Britain. If I'm not mistaken, she's like, yeah. That also came from the original families that look like. So I said, it's funny that my Grand Sheik at the temple spoke on that. He said, everybody you think that it's this are not really that. They're passing. Look at their children's hair follicles. Because a lot of their children, some of them be having that curly hair like an afro. Oh yeah, that means there's somebody down the line. Yeah. But where am I going at with this? Goes back to the original woman, the mitochondrial DNA. It goes back to the Kundalini. It goes back to Tiamat. It goes back to all of that. It goes back to the chaos to bring forth order. Do you know that the male was made to bring forth order? Because the simple fact is, by her being so chaotic, it's like, I gotta go ahead and do some creating. We need a balance on this one, because I don't want to lose myself. Matter of fact, do I have a pen? I'm about to see something real quick. I think this pen might work. I'm about to start teaching like I'm a teacher in school. Give me a second. All right, bear with me. Let me come back to y'all. I'm about to see if this pen works. Hopefully it works. Hopefully, because I want to show y'all something. Oh, I see a pen that might work. Give me a second. God dang it. Right in front of me. It must mean it's time for y'all to learn something. Now, a lot of Moors know this. A lot of so-called secret societies know this. And I'm about to show y'all some of this right now. Okay. You see this? What is that? The chromosome, excuse my writing, the chromosome of the woman, or may I say womb man, okay? The chromosome of the womb man, which is what? The X and... Now, before I do like this line, see that line? I do like this. Womb, womb, womb. Y'all see that? Look at that. Look at that. Oh, snap. What the heck? Oh, it gets even interesting. Look what it forms. Oh, that's the star. Hexagram. That is the hexagram. Also, it is dealing with this. So above. Notice I put down the part that's up, that's going upward. So below. So below. Which is yin and yang. That's what they don't tell you. I just showed you the square and compass, what that symbolized. The two X chromosomes put together, then you can also create the hexagram. So above, so below. Wow. But yet you're being told, oh, that's evil. That's evil. No, it's not. It was never evil. It's how that was taught. And the letter G deals with geometry, or you can say God, you can say Gaia. I'm just saying. But now you know the whole artistry of the study of that. I taught this to an old mentee of mine years ago. I was 28. I had to think about how old I was. That was 16 years ago. Okay, I wasn't even a Masonic order that time. Okay, excuse me, y'all. I wasn't even a Masonic order that time. And guess what? The person she showed that to was a Mason himself. And you know what she did? She showed him that breakdown. And you know what he told her? Get that shit. She's like, this guy, he showed me, and he told me, and about the woman and about the X chromosome and how that's connected to this and how it's connected to that. And he drew the symbol, and you know what he said? Out his mouth. He said, sister, that breakdown he gave you, that can fuck up a person's that's in the Masonic order heads up and try to figure out how the hell you figure that out. This was before I joined the order. The whole time, what I'm saying to you, that X chromosome, the mitochondrial DNA, they know about it once they start moving up in rank. They start wearing the fez like the Moors, the tassel of the Moors, or that fez or the tartar bush represents the umbilical cord to Allah. The bottom of the fez or the tartar bush represents 360 degrees physical, where you master the positive and negative of yourself. The number 360 equals the number 9. Hold that thought. That equals the number 9. Then the top of that daggone fez represents 360 degrees spiritual, which means you mastered the negative and positive side of the spirit realm, and also of thyself on both parts. Which, when you add that together, you have 720 degrees. 720 degrees equals the number 9. The number 9, it goes back to the divine mother that deals with divine completion, which goes back to the 999, which is dealing with the 3 trimesters of the womb when the child is in the womb of their mother. God damn. So who the hell been lying to everybody? Why they don't want you to know the secret of that? because there's no more secrets. Look at that. Let me see. Hopefully, I don't know why it's so blurry. There you go. Stuff they don't want you to know. It's real simple. Real simple. Why they don't want you to know that? I'll tell you why. Because they don't know. They don't want you to know that many of you are what they say, ye are gods and children of the Most High. That's why. They don't want you to know that you have the power to unlock these gifts, these high psychic gifts. Telepathy is one. Psychometry is when you pick. I tell you, psychometry is when you pick somebody's item up and can tell everything about them. Psychometry. Then you have telepathy, clairvoyancy, intuition, those 4 higher senses. Then let's go to even higher senses after that. Telekinesis, pyrokinesis, hydrokinesis. Okay, I forgot what they call airbending. Okay. Also, you got just regular telekinesis, moving objects with your mind. That is also connected to what? To the mitochondrial DNA, the X-Men, per se. The chaos energy, the chaos magic that's within us, that they have been suppressing from us all this time. The sons and daughters of Tiamat, who they call, you ready for it? One of her names is Babylon. Shh. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Say it again. Just saying. Okay? But you got to be, oh yeah, Babylon has fallen. And yet you're still crapping on Tiamat again, who goes by 10,000 names, 10,000 titles. And if anybody really knew that a lot of these words that we use are actually feminine, and I told y'all, any name ending with AH at the end is feminine. Shout out to Dr. Suzar for that book. Did y'all know that the word car is feminine too? Just saying. I'm just saying. The word labyrinth, the labyrinth or whatever, that's feminine. Remember the movie Da Vinci Code with Tom Hanks? And in the beginning they showed the symbols? And he was naming all the symbols that were feminine. Oh, hold up. This was feminine in the movie. That particular symbol was also considered feminine. The pentagram, that the people be like, oh, the witches use that. That's feminine. But guess who used that as their symbol? You ready? The Moors. Hold on. Don't I have a pamphlet on that? Give me a second. See, I told y'all, we got receipts, right? We had the receipts over here. All right. Y'all ready? Look at this. Look at that. What does that say? What does that say right there? The symbol. The 5-pointed star, the pentagram. Oh, my Lord. And look what they have right here. This is what they teach in the temple I'm a part of. Ain't that something? Naturalization ceremony. See? Dog, this is, look at that. Noble Drew Ali. Look what he had. He had the turban on. Turban on. See, this is not recruiting nobody. I'm just showing y'all some stuff. See, look. Look at that. Salvation. Isn't that the Islam? But can I tell y'all something? This symbol, look at that 5-pointed star on the moon. That's feminine. Look. Allah. Any name ending with AH is feminine. And it's talking about unity. But see, they didn't put father, mother, or mother, father. They put down father, Allah. But see, that's because they still, you know. But I wanted to show y'all because I had the receipts. You know what? There's a Orisha with that symbolize that represents that 5-pointed star. Right here. That's Oshun. Don't believe me. Look at the name. Look her up. Oshun number is 5, which also the geometrical shape is the pentagram for her. Look, there's so much. Oh, don't forget the United States flag, the banner. The so-called all 50 stars are 5-pointed stars. Oh, that means America is feminine. Yes, it is. Because Ka or Ah is actually feminine. AH. Why do you always think the songs be like talking about America being a she? Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. I just want to. And why do you think they starting to say that America is the motherland, is the real motherland, and that everybody came from out of her? Okay, so my bad. I had to get myself ready. Gotta get myself ready for the children soon. Yep, real soon. This is why I try not to say too much, and I just listen, I watch, and observe many people. But when it come down to it, they never mention her. The name Sophia means wisdom or wise dome. Please understand that when you look up Sophia, you're going to be surprised at who she is. There's things that they're not talking about that you got to start questioning here on out. Start questioning them. Because they're not going to tell you who she is and why she came here, and they're not going to let you know that she has 10,000 names, 10,000 titles, and that the Catholic Church worship her behind closed doors, and she looked just like your little big brother, looked like you. There's a reason why they call her the Black Madonna. There's a reason why the Pope and the Catholics have a whole prayer talking and giving her praises. There's a reason why they call her the Queen of Heaven. Just saying. Just saying. People need to start looking up the Council of Nicaea. Start looking up the Council of Nicaea. And a lot of people didn't know that there was a brother that was going against what they were talking about in the Council of Nicaea. I forgot the brother's name because he knew they was taking a lot of stuff from other sources. Now, when it come down to the name Jesus, and the Spanish word I'm named for it is Jesus, but there was no J's in Hebrew, so it'll be Yahshua. Some people say when you say the name Yahshua, it's like you're releasing some sort of powerful breath outwardly. But the word Yahshua, Joshua, means salvation. Don't believe me, look it up. It means salvation. And what is that symbol, ladies and gentlemen? That symbol for salvation is the crescent moon, which is dealing with the feminine energy. Something to make you say, So the real Moors know about salvation. They know about the RCNI being that of the mother watching you. That's why they wear the feathers. A lot of them probably wasn't taught that, but I was taught, and they told me that tassel is the umbilical cord to Allah. Y'all do some research on the three. There was 3 daughters of Allah. That's what they say. There was actually 3 breakdowns of Allah. Look up the name Allat. Allat. There's things that they don't tell you that you need to know. The way of the Gnostic, the way of those that practice the Kabbalists and the Sufis, that's all dealing with mysticism, which is the hidden science of the divine feminine. And they put that together to keep her secret sacred amongst themselves. You got to remember, this planet, they're using magic every day on you. It's called television. It's called MONEY. It's also using food for magic too. Technology is a form of magic. They do it on you every day. When you watch your favorite shows, they put certain symbols in decoding or coding up so they can talk to each other through the television and also through certain social media outlets as well. Did y'all know that the technology that we're using on the computers, which is 0101, is that the origin of that comes from the teachings of Ifa? Don't believe me? Ask Babylao. Just saying. They stole everything from us. They stole our whole entire science. But yet they don't want the woman to know her power. They don't want her to know, hey, you're chaos. But they don't want you to know that you're defy all this shit, destroy all this shit with the help of your sons / and also your husbands. The real Trinity was the Mother, Father, Son. That was the real Trinity. Don't y'all know that the name Amen comes from the Egyptian deity Amen Ra, who, by the way, had a mother, and he realized that he wasn't the real God, that his mother was, and she was the one that created him, the darkness. And Amen Ra's daughter, Mayat, the scales, Libra, also called Lady Justice. That was Amen Ra's daughter. We'll get into it another time, though. But he realized, yo, I'm not the real God. My mother is. So I'm all wrong. That's why the Catholics are copying off of what? The ancient Kemetic Empire. But this is what they're telling you. That this country was the original Kemetic Empire. See, when it comes down to it, they don't want you to know these stories. But I can assure you, they all talk about it in secret because the secret is always kept sacred to them. And they did not want you to know your sacred science or your sacred breakdown and also your genealogy, your bloodline, and so on. They kept that from you. That's why they had to make these societies to become secret. Meanwhile, a lot of these Caucasian Masons on some real shit, like the words of Bobby Hemmett said, they'll pull a brother and a sister out in the street in front of the blindfolded brother that is Caucasian. They tell them what Bobby Hemmett said, this is your mother, this is your father. It is your job to oppress them. And another secret, shout out to Asita Ducateers on this. The KKK, they know your bloodline. They know that you're Asiatic. They know that you're the original people. And they also Freemasons too. Just letting y'all know that. Everything been hidden from y'all, or may I say from us, for a reason. And that was the spell of sleep. Shout out to Dr. Malachi York. They call it the spell NGU. You've been in a spell of sleep for a long time, sleeping giants, and they ain't gonna tell you a goddamn thing. That's why they put your asses in shows and television and sci-fi movies. Um, they put you in comic books. Like what's his name? Umar Johnson said the last live I did. Thank you. They the daughters of Allah, right? The thing about it is they also represent something. One I think was the youngest, the one was the oldest, the other one was like the elder one. Yeah. I think they were the daughters of Allah. Yeah, they like I think one was the youngest, the middle, and then the elder. We'll get into that another time. We'll get into that part another time. My brother Pisces, for that, I appreciate you. But yeah, that's something that y'all really need to look into, my friend, my beloved ones, because there's a whole lot of secrets behind all this shit. And you ask yourself, how did Allah have daughters? Ask yourself that question. You get me? How did Allah have daughters? But I told y'all, any name ending with AH. You know what I'm saying? Gotta start looking at that. All these names that the brother put down, all them feminine names. But can I tell you another thing? The name AL, the word AL. AL. Damn, this the wrong goddamn pen. Where the heck? Oh, here you go. I feel like I'm in school today, teaching something. AL. All right, this is something right here. You see that name? AL equals EL, right? Which is true. The word EL in Hebrew, the name AL in Hebrew, meaning the word AL equals EL in Hebrew, meaning God. Don't believe me? Look it up. EL means God. But you ready for another one? EL or L was another name for Saturn. So you ask yourself a question. The name L being Saturn, L being Saturn, right? Or Saturday. Let's say Saturday. But I'm gonna just put down Saturday. That's so sloppy. I got my hand right. My penmanship is so better than this, y'all. It's just that I got time to get ready to go get the children soon. All right. EL equals Saturday equals Saturn. Do you know in astrology Saturn was called the father of was dealing with being a disciplinary parent or the father, right? Here's a kicker. L is connected to this word. That's the sun. That's what we in. Excuse my penmanship. Like I said, I'm trying to hurry up. And this is Isis. That deals with the moon. L is Saturn, which we get the word Saturday. See that? So altogether, you have Isis, Ra, and L, which is the moon, the sun, and Saturn. So you say, well, why are you showing me all of this? Because it goes back to the celestial bodies that I was telling y'all about. Remember, the moon crescent and that star symbolizes the woman. The moon, Isis, or Set, that deals with the moon. The sun represents the masculine, allegedly. And Saturn, that is the planet that have all these gases, and know it or not, those gases do go into the atmosphere and space. And also it deals with the stars and all that, getting us hitting the stardust, and we are made out of stardust and all that other stuff. So all this correlates of who the hell we really are. Also, it's talking about how they studied astronomy and how they realized those different spheres in the solar system, how they correlate with the conjunction of the Great Mother, how it's all aligned, how she created all of that. Because the cosmos is nothing but sheer darkness that created all of these particular spectrums in the atmosphere, in the solar system, and so on, which came from the all. Also, this planet, which is a part of her from the war that she had to fight with an Anunnaki deity, which turned her into this planet because she was a dragon. They put all this stuff in the breakdowns. You got to know how to break all this stuff down. Look at all of it over and over again. All I can say, this is something to start on and start researching yourself and start seeing for yourself. They're not going to tell you how L is connected to Saturn, though. I'm telling you that. If you find it, I'm telling you. I learned all this from reading Dr. York information, studying and listening to Bobby Hemmett, Dr. Delbert Blair, Sister Myra Moss. I forget, it's a lot of sisters that I learned from too along the way. All them scholars, a lot of the women scholars are always on point, but that's why I always try to give a shout out to Dr. Suzar. Had to think about her name. Y'all been on here for an hour and some change. I hope y'all learned something, brother Pisces the King. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for confirming the three daughters of Allah. But anyway, look, I digress though. I love all y'all. Love, peace, light, darkness, supreme balance, which is the divine masculine and feminine, which is the yin and yang that brings supreme balance to all. And may the great mother, the ancestral spirits, and the divine father all protect you and yours and guide you on your journey from here on out. And may you have a great and prosperous day, evening, afternoon. Even have a great day tomorrow, because I might not do a live tomorrow because I think I did 3 today. And I might make that live tomorrow be on Friday or Saturday, one of them days. But I love y'all. Peace. Woo, woo, woo. They do not want me to start talking on here. God dang.